Hey YouTube, we're back. Finally getting back on this project. It's should be out of here soon. I ended up putting this car down for about 2 months. Haven't really touched it. Been disgusted with the fact of the exhaust manifold problems, and if you've been watching our other videos, you'd notice that I started attacking the Olds motor and I got pretty far in there, but that's another story. The cam bearings are wiped out and now I'm hunting down a cam tool. I got new bearings for it, but different story, different video. Well, I got tired of calling around different friends, seeing if somebody had a manifold for this car, so I finally started looking online for one, factory replacement, and I ended up finding out through, I found one through Summit out in Ohio. They, starting to like them a lot. They can get me parts really cheap. And if you order them before 12 o'clock, they always show up the next day. And it's usually about a $9 shipping fee. And they ended up charging the kid that owns this car, he paid $89 plus $9 shipping, and it went over the $100 mark, so he got like 10% off, and it went back down to the $90, so it was a win-win situation. And I checked with AutoZone briefly, and I'm starting to get real disgusted with them. They're just not carrying the right parts anymore, and the service there is just horrible. But they wanted $150 for the manifold, and they were going to have to take a couple days to get it to their store, and yeah, it's just, no, I went online, looked at Summit, called them up, they had it. Boom, it showed up the next day. So I'll show you what the manifold looks like. And last video you guys seen the car, it was just, the motor was just dumped in the car, that was it. You know, I put the manifold on yesterday, and within about 2 hours I had all the accessory belts hooked up and a couple other things plugged in, and at this point the carb's got to go on. A couple parts of the wiring harness still need plugged back in. Ignition wires need done. I got to throw the radiator back in it, the fan, the shroud, and fill it up with antifreeze, and we should be ready to rock and roll. And I'm still using the Suburban manifold on the passenger side, which isn't a big deal because he's going to take it to Monroe, and they're going to bend him 2 custom head pipes for bootleg dual exhaust, and he's going to run kickstands out in front of the back tires. And I know everybody's going to say something about the cross member on the driver's side not being cut for dual exhaust, but they should be able to bend around it and it should clear the ground nicely. And I just got to take a Sawzall and cut the old exhaust off the back of the car that somebody jerry-rigged on there. And here, I'll show you, hang on. All this was accomplished in under 2 hours. It's just the manifold was a setback because you got to put that on first before you can go with the power steering pump and the compressor, the water pump, air pump, alternator, and now here's the cheater part. The air pump's hooked up, but there's no air pump adapters for the manifolds. So it looks like it's there, as long as somebody doesn't look hard enough. But there's the new driver's side manifold from Summit. And you can see where the exhaust comes out. And the older Suburban manifold, the exhaust came out all the way at the back. Came out pointing back here, and it was hitting the firewall. And it was hitting the junction block for the brakes. And it was hitting the rod for the shifter that moves the indicator on the dashboard. So now that that's taken care of, this thing should be hitting the road soon, and most of all, it'll be getting out of my driveway. I'm sick of seeing this car. My house isn't looking that good from the street. You're seeing dead Monte Carlo, this hammered wagon. The Skylark hasn't been moving, so once this is gone, I'm going to clean up the wagon, and I'm probably going to stuff that in the yard somewhere before it snows. And then maybe I won't get the township called on me. So, I'll show you the exhaust real quick. This is what needs to be cut off the car. I don't know who the hell put it on and who said it was acceptable, but there's your clearance for the mufflers. And this car's got air shocks in it now. I put them in just to temporarily help the kid out, which they're always a plus. It always feels better with the nose weight on the front end. But imagine how low that was to the ground before it had air shocks. You can see why the muffler is all peeled back like a tuna can. And yeah, there's the cat that broke off. And I'll show you the actual tailpipes themselves. They don't look that good either. They're stuffed up against the bumper, and they hang down below the quarter panels, which looks ghetto. But that's about it for the update. And if anybody's wondering where you can put the air shock lines on here, I just drilled the hole right there, and clears the license plate pretty well. So, well, that's it for now. And like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned. This thing should be up and running soon. And what the fuck is that noise? But yeah, anyways, stay tuned. See you then.